I used to be the kind of person who trusted my coworkers. I mean, we spend so much time together, right? We vent about annoying customers, complain about management, and share inside jokes. But after what happened last year, I don't think I'll ever fully trust a coworker again. I worked at a small office in a business park, the kind of place where everyone knew each other but wasn't necessarily close. My job required late hours, so most nights I was one of the last people to leave. Usually it was just me and a few others wrapping up before heading out. One of those people was Dave. Dave was a quiet guy, mid-40s, kept to himself, never really talked much outside of work topics. I never thought much of him. He was just there, polite, but not really on my radar, until I started noticing things. It started subtly. Most nights when I left work, I'd notice a car a few cars back from me on the main road. I drive the same route home, so at first I chalked it up to coincidence. But then I realized the car was always there. Same model, same distance behind me. I tried to ignore it. Told myself I was just being paranoid. Until the night I pulled into my apartment complex, and the car slowed down near the entrance. I turned into the parking lot, watching in my rearview mirror. The car didn't follow me inside, but instead stopped at the entrance, waiting. At that moment, my stomach twisted in a way I couldn't ignore. I didn't park. I kept driving, circling the lot like I was looking for a space. The car stayed there. That's when I caught a glimpse of the driver. It was Dave. I didn't want to believe it at first. Maybe he lived nearby. Maybe it was a coincidence. But something about it felt wrong. And then, he sped off. After that night, I paid attention. And the more I watched, the more terrified I became. He was following me every night. Not just on the main road, but all the way to my apartment complex. Sometimes he'd stop a few streets away. Sometimes he'd drive past my place and loop back around. But he was always there. I started experimenting, trying different ways home. One night I took an entirely different route. Back roads, random turns, anything to throw him off. And yet, when I pulled into my complex, he was there, waiting. I started feeling watched at work. Every time I glanced up, I felt like I'd catch Dave quickly looking away. Then there was the parking lot incident. I left work late one night and realized his car was still there. I walked past his car, glancing inside. He wasn't on his phone. He wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting there, staring straight ahead, not moving. I hurried to my car and locked the doors the second I got in. That was the first night I actually felt afraid. I finally confided in a coworker. I casually mentioned that I thought someone might be following me. I didn't say who. The response made my stomach drop. Oh yeah, Dave is super weird. I caught him just standing in the parking lot after everyone left one night. He wasn't even near his car, just standing there. When I asked if he was okay, he said he was just watching the stars. That was the night I decided to do something. I left work at my usual time. But instead of going home, I drove straight to the police station. I parked outside and waited, and sure enough, Dave's car appeared in my rearview mirror. He had followed me again, but the second he realized where I was, he sped off. That was the last time I ever saw him follow me. I reported everything to HR the next day. They confronted him, but he denied everything. A week later, he quit out of nowhere. No goodbye email, no warning. Just gone. I never found out why he was following me. I don't want to know. But now, every time I leave work, I check my mirrors. Every time I drive home, I make random turns. To Dave, let's not meet again.